Hey guys, happy Saturday. It's a holiday weekend here in the US, and so I'm gonna go to a barbecue and I'm gonna throw together a quick salad. And I thought, why not share it, right? I have everything ready to go. I'm gonna make a cauliflower salad. Very easy to do. I discovered this in Mexico. A friend of mine, Rosalba, hello. Hola, Rosalba. Shared a recipe that she had using a lot of fresh ingredients, and it was really tasty. So I thought, oh, why not share something that's good for you and tastes good too? Because a lot of times when I'm trying to eat healthy, like blah, which is the benefit of spices. Let me grab a colander to rinse this off. So let me pull you down here so you can see what's happening. So I'm going to cut the cauliflower just into bite-sized pieces. Some of these are pretty big. And then I will rinse them off. When they get small enough, you can just tear them apart with your fingers. So right now, I'm actually in a weird season of my life where I'm spending a lot of time in recovery. I've been sick for a couple months. God saved me. I should have died. I'm a missionary, and I was serving in Uganda, and when I had returned to the U.S., I had malaria. I didn't know it, but I had what they call cerebral malaria. I'm just going to cut the core out. So that was a real shocker to my body. Been recovering ever since. Coma, bedridden, whole thing. For about 5 weeks. So trying to work my way back, but eating healthy is really helping. And by healthy, I mean whole plant-based foods. I have one piece here that has a little bit of black on it, so I'm going to drop it on the floor. Then I'm going to rinse it off, and then I'm going to cut the black piece off. My rule is if I'm not willing to eat it, I don't want to ask anybody else to eat it either. And you should be cutting these into about bite-sized pieces. Like this is not bite-sized for me. This is very large. I have a small head, small mouth. I joke it's the only small thing about me. But if you like bigger chunks, then by all means cut them into bigger chunks. Let me just clean off my cutting board quick, and we're going to rinse this off and move on to the next thing. So I have one head here of cauliflower, and I'm just going to rinse this off quick. I'm going to set it over here to drain while I move on. I'm going to make some coffee. Life is better with coffee, right? We're going to throw in some green onion. I have about half a green onion here that I'm just going to dice quick. I usually cut that in half, leaving the root connected. And then follow these little lines. You see the little lines on here? That'll help you determine where to add your marks to so that it comes out diced. You see? Quick, easy. I'm probably going to do pretty much all of this. When I started sharing recipes, it was hard because I'm not a measurer. When I cooked, I just kind of threw stuff together. And then when people started asking me for recipes, they're like, how much? And my first response was, I don't know how much until it looks right. So this looks like about 1/3 of a cup to me. I did not use all of it. I have about that much left because it looks like enough. So let's get this into our bowl. And I have some cilantro here. So I've got 1 head of cabbage, about 1/3 of a cup of onion, and the cabbage looks to be about 4 cups to me. And then I'm going to add some cilantro. And all I did was turn my knife on the side and shave it down so that I leave a lot of the stem. Although the stems have a lot of flavor, a lot of nutrients, a lot of protein. So I will take this. I have a bag. I make vegetable broth about once a month. I just have a bag in the freezer where I keep all of my scraps. So I will use those. I will not throw those away. And when I make vegetable broth, then I get all the nutrients out of there. So I have the cilantro, which I leave in a pretty tight roll, and then I'm just going to chop it up quick. And you're just looking for small pieces. It doesn't need to be perfect. It needs to be edible. It doesn't need to be perfect. It's about a handful. And if you do this with your knife, please be careful. People have been known to cut themselves. I'm going to add my cauliflower. And move on to the next thing. Now, a tomato. I have a Roma tomato here, and I'm going to use a different knife because a tomato is a little harder to cut. You're going to want something that's serrated. It has like little teeth on the side. So I tend to cut off something so that it will lay flat and not move around. And then I'm going to dice it. We'll see how much this tomato makes. I may want to add more. I'm just going to cut out the little top part. I do not add tomatoes to my vegetable broth. They do not hold up well at all. If you want to try it, have at it. Be sure and leave the seeds in. Some people de-seed it. It adds a little juice and it leaves those vitamins and nutrients in there, which I'm looking to get some more of those now as I heal. So yeah, I had cerebral malaria, which affects the brain, and I had a head injury from fainting and falling. But my neurologist says I'm doing good, so, or she said there's nothing of concern. And I think, what does that mean? I'm not sure. Put these tomatoes in there. And I'm gonna keep my work surface clean. Now, the next thing is an avocado. So I'm gonna cut this in half, and if you lay this flat, it's gonna naturally fall to one side. If you lay it, it's gonna fall to the side that has the flattest part of the seed inside. And so I've just cut around, and then I'm going to peel back the I've lost the word. Sometimes I forget the word of things. Peel. Take the peel off, and then I'm going to put this right into the bowl so that I don't lose any of that juice. And then I had some stick to the peel here, so I'm just going to put it right over the bowl. And so all I did was do scoring on it, and then I'm going to just run my knife down the outside of the peel, getting the pulp and leaving the peel. Mangoes are a really popular fruit across the planet, except for the US. For some reason, people prefer apples. Maybe they're just more readily available, but mangoes are delish. And they add a nice sweet component to this dish. Do the other side quick. Ooh, this mango is ripe, ripe, ripe. I don't know if you can see, probably not. I've got a lot of juice just dripping off my hand. Everybody has their way of peeling mangoes, cutting mangoes, whatever works for you. Over here, and your knife will stop when it hits that seed inside. It's a long, flat, oval seed in there. I'll show it to you when I get this stuff off. And I just keep cutting closer and closer, and if any huge chunks fall off, I just pick them up and cut them in half. That's simple. Like here, I'm going to cut this long thing off, and when I'm done, I'll make it smaller so that it's bite size. That's the goal, is that everything is bite size or smaller, so when someone takes a spoonful or a forkful, they get a little bit of everything. So here's what I have left, and in a minute I'll strip that down so you can see a mango seed. And the rest of them look pretty good size to me. I'll set that to the side, and wash my hands quick. Ooh, that's a nice mango. Which is going to take us to the next avocado. Do something similar. I'm going to run the knife around, and then you twist it, and you have two parts. I tend to use the back side of a knife to cut these because I've been known to cut my hand underneath from pushing too hard. I push right through, but the back of a knife works well. And I've just done the same thing. I've just scored it in there. And then I'm going to run my knife around the outside. Anybody that comes out too big, I just cut it down. And then to get the seed out, I put my fingers like this, and I push from the back with my thumb, and it pops out. I usually just pop it into the other side. Score those up. I was going to try and talk to my cousin today, but my barbecue starts at the same time she could talk, and where I'm living, it's going to take me about 30 minutes or more to drive to the barbecue. So I'm going to talk to her on Tuesday. All right. And so I'm just going to see if anybody is too big in here. No. And finally, I have some limes. I'm just going to rinse them off quick. I say finally, but it's not true. I've got limes and cashews left. So I am going to do the zest of probably one of these limes. Let me see how it looks. This is a zester handy tool. And box graders have zesters on them, but it's really hard for me to hold on to that. And what I'm doing is I'm just taking off the top layer that's colored. If you get down to the actual white, it's going to get bitter. But inside the zest is all kinds of oils, and it's like a really intense flavor. And that's true of any of your citrus fruits. Like I have some grapefruit over here, same thing. If I wanted a grapefruit flavor, I could zest that. And I would get a ton of grapefruit flavor. I just suggest you wash it first and then zest away. It's like a little flavor explosion of lime. So I'm going to do this zest. Try not to get any of the white. And then I'm going to add a little juice to kind of this, as long as you go that way, you're fine. And then when you flip it over, there will be some stuck to the back. And you just take your finger and slice it off. We're going to need about half a cup of cashews. I have roasted salted cashews here. That looks about right. And I've grated my thumb. Let me rinse it off quick so I can finish. If your lime is getting a little old, this one seems to be getting a little old, you can microwave it for 5 seconds or roll it on the surface to get the juices flowing. Put a napkin on my thumb because nobody wants Deb in their salad. Here we go. Hopefully this is better. And this is called being adaptable. Well, that is not gonna give me enough juice. So I usually have in my fridge prepackaged. I'm probably gonna do 2 tablespoons. 1, 2, measure carefully, right? Let me grab a spoon and we'll mix this up. So that's it. That's what goes in. Can you see? So let me just mix this up some. And the longer this sits, the better it will taste. The tomato will give off a little juice. The mango will give off some juice. So I would barbecue in 3-4 hours. So let's take a look here. And that's it. Mango salad. Good on the side. Good on a tostada. My camera's crooked. Happy Labor Day, guys. I hope you enjoy whatever barbecue you're going to. Thanks.